Nice. Okay, we got a good turnout here. All right, we got about 20. They're still coming in over here. Does everybody understand that this is a beginner course? We're going to kind of do a little bit basics. We're going to go slow here. For those that know information or have been watching any of the videos and you have advanced questions, I may or may not answer them, because what I do want to do, what I don't want to do is move too fast. What I've done in the past is, we go about 80 miles per hour for people that kind of are taking this a little bit slow and trying to understand the process. It confuses them and it's actually counterproductive. So I'm going to go very slow, and we're going to stop in between, and we're going to ask for questions and answers, and we'll get to them. But I do want to make sure that this is a basic course. We are going to go over some basic questions, some basic functions, and we'll get to some of your questions from there on. Before we start, do we have any questions or concerns or anything that they want to comment on? Okay. All right. I say we get started. All right. Let me share my screen. So first things first, I want to give a basic understanding of what KvCore is and what its functions are. So I'm going to pull up the screen here and kind of give you a quick little overview. Pretty self-explanatory. It's a lead engine here over to the left. If you look over here to up above that, it's a web IDX. So you're going to be doing any type of listings are going to be on there. You can share some of your listings with your clients. People can sign up for these things. It's a web and IDX. Smart CRM. It's also a smart CRM. We'll kind of go over what its functions are there. So if anybody has heard the term CRM and you guys are like, what is CRM? It's contact relationship manager. Okay, so it's basically for you to have some type of contact with your relationships, right? So your past clients, new active listings, active leads, whomever it may be, it's a way for you to get a hold of them instead of being face-to-face. Also, it's listings, right? You can actually manage some of your listings through there and some of the transactions as well. If you look to the bottom, it says business analytics. Underneath there, it says cloud powered. So you can actually access this from any computer. It doesn't mean that it needs to be hardwired or any type of remote desktop. So if you're using your kid's computer or your mother's or whomever it may be, this is going to be where you can access it any which way possible. So that's cloud powered. Multi-team, multi-function. This is really good for teams as well. They can actually do it to where if you wanted to set up your team, it's a little extra charge, but you can definitely have some team members on there as well. Mobile device, you can have a mobile device. You can use it from your telephone, your mobile device, and it has an app on there. So you don't need to be accessing this through a computer. It could be through your mobile device, through an app. Integration layer, it has APIs so that it integrates with other softwares that you may have. So just overview on that. Does anybody have any questions on the things that we just discovered or uncovered right now with the platform itself? Lindsay, you'll let me know if anybody reaches out, okay? Thank you. All right, one more thing we're going to be talking about when we're talking about building your pipeline. I discussed this during the meeting, but I definitely want everybody to understand what this is. Everybody asks me, hey, you know what, Mike, what's a good lead? Is that a good lead? Is this an inquiry? What's the difference between a lead and an inquiry? I talked about this, but I'm going to repeat myself because this is very, very powerful. I think the biggest mistake agents make is they concentrate on the now business. The now business is somebody that's going to actually convert or looking to purchase a property within 3 months or less. And it's great. Of course, who doesn't want to make money now? The problem is we neglect the people that are going to be 3 months to 12 months out. And then when they become now, they've already established relationship with open houses or people they've talked to, people they have actually interacted with. Therefore, when they become now business, you lost them. So they've already established a relationship. So what's KvCore do? It's really keeping in touch with all the people that you probably want to neglect, or maybe they're not really out to purchase something in the next 3 to 12 months. And so maybe they're 12 months out. You put them in the system, and this system will actually keep in touch with them. And I'll repeat myself. KvCore will keep in touch with these people. It's basic automations. It'll send text messages on your behalf, emails. It can even call a person and update them with certain things. So we'll talk about that today on an overview basis. But how we can make these things, I would say organic leads, open houses, people that you've interacted with, door knocking, farming, building relationship, cold calls, whatever the case may be, everybody needs to be in the KvCore. You need to put their names and information in that system. So therefore, it can keep in touch there for you, because we know real estate agents have plenty of hats. And the problem with having too many hats is that we start to neglect an area of our business. If we're not prospecting, or if we're in the weeds with the deals that we're working on together, we can neglect the ones that we actually have currently, and it becomes more of a pain in the butt, where peaks and valleys, right? Brian Buffini talks about peaks and valleys. We're in the business, then we're working on the business. You need to start having a business by design, and that really is prospecting every single day. You need to put 2 hours out of your day about building with new relationships. So that being said, any questions on what we covered right there on understanding what the difference is between an inquiry and an actual lead? Is no different than anybody else that's looking for anything on the internet. You think that they're a lead, then they come to find out they're about 2 years out. They're waiting for Johnny to finish high school, and now you neglected them, and you say, "Oh well, they're not looking. They're looky lures." Well, looky lures become serious buyers. Serious buyers become transactions. So let's not neglect them. Let's make sure that they're in the system and they're being contacted often. Any questions on anything we just discussed now?
Mike, Grace wants to know if we're able to set up Facebook ads, Craigslist ads, and social media postings.
Absolutely. We're going to get to there. Absolutely. Great question. Yes, you can. Any other questions, comments, concerns? So we understand the function of KvCore as a whole, right? All right, let's get into the system now, and then we will get to questions after we uncover a few things. All right, so I'm gonna go in the KvCore dashboard. Let's just kind of pull that up. This is what you see. Over to the left, dashboard, playbook, CRM, listings, marketing, lead engine, transactions, web IDX, marketplace, business analytics, and support training. We're going to go over each one maybe as an overview, and then if we get into the weeds with some of these things, no problem. If I feel that it's something that you guys would probably need to know, we can discuss it and kind of slow down in that particular field. So when you first get into the platform, we see this to the left, all the functions there. There's quick actions. All right. So quick actions, if I want to add a contact, I would do it from quick actions. So I'm going to do it again. Quick actions, we're going to add a contact from here, add a call, all the things that you could do over here. You can even send an email. All right. And I just want to point out now that there's always a support training here. Okay. So if you don't know exactly, or if we're going too fast, or if you signed up for KvCore, I 1000% advise everybody to watch the training videos. They're very short, they're very simple, they're to the actual point. Like, there's not going to be any type of wasting time here. And this is how you do it. All right. So courses here is agent success plan, agent success plan. You can open that. It'll take you to tutorials, videos, and it can actually get to you to anything that you're trying to accomplish. It'll be this quick. All right. And I'll do that now just with the how to complete the course, a course overview. All right. So I've already attended an agent excitement webinar. Okay. Sorry, just do this for a second. You guys get the point. So you can do that there by support and training. And again, it really gives you slow. You can even go to YouTube and put KvCore overviews. There's a lot of people that are training on these things, and they're keeping it very basic. And that gives you a really good idea of what KvCore truly is. But let's just go ahead and add a contact. Okay. So let's just say a friend of yours says they want to purchase a property in the next 6 to 12 months. This is how you would add them in. Jane Smith, right? And then you put their email address, phone number, and then I want to make sure you understand what this is. Permission to contact. So this is going to give KvCore permission to text them, to email them, to even call them. If you don't want them and their personal friend, I definitely suggest you not to make sure you just keep it as a no, because it's going to come off as some type of script or scripted instead of your personal attention. So definitely don't do that. And then you want to title them what type of person they are. Are they a buyer? Are they a seller? Are they renting? And then your lead status is something that's very important here too. You want to label them as a client, prospect, new lead, whatnot. And then you want to talk about the lead source, right? How do you get that lead? Is it something that you're going to do, or is it just you just got it from the website? Is there a for sale by owner, family member, whomever that may be? And then the lead owner is you. You just put your information there. Put Mike Safety in there. Don't put Mike Safety and put your name in there. It should already auto-populate when you do sign up with KvCore with us. A smart campaign, very, very important option here. Now, if you don't want them contacted, you don't want them on a campaign, then don't do anything here, and you just want to keep their information because if they're a past client. But let's just say they're a new person that you discovered in the open house, and you just don't know exactly if they're going to be purchasing anytime soon. You want to make sure that Smart Campaign is an active buyer here, okay? And by doing an active buyer, it's going to be sending things on your behalf. We'll talk about what those things are and how often they're going to be sent. But anyway, if there's a lender on there, you can search for a lender who we actually put inside there and whatnot. If you want to add a lender to us, let us know. We can put that in there too. And then any type of note that you may have on that particular buyer. It could be that, hey, met him at open house. He mentioned that he has 2 dogs, whatever the case may be. You can put that in there as something you want to make a mental note on. So when you're contacting them, it comes up. So now we just talked about quick actions of adding a contact. That's how you would do so. And we're just going to go take back to the dashboard sign. And is there any questions on adding a contact, or is that pretty self-explanatory? Good. Excellent. Excellent. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about this dashboard because this is something you should be visiting every single day. You heard me. You need to log in to KvCore every single day. It's important because you're going to get people that are going to be actively asking you questions, or they may have comments based on what the system has prompted them to do. For an example, we are still looking. Look at Rich. He just sent me this 19 hours ago. So I'm going to click on him and see what's going on with Rich. All right. So first things first, there were a KvCore paid buyer. I'll explain to you what that is and how I got those leads. You can organically do them for free, or you can have KvCore do it for you. And I'll explain to you guys what that is and how that gets done. All right. So basically, look at this. You can look at the system of what it does and how it happened and all the way from when it started. So how Rich actually got onto the system. Let's talk about how it actually got done. Basically, he was searching online with Google. And let's do that now. Let's put home for sale in San Marcos. Okay, now, when somebody Googles home for sale in San Marcos, what happens is you can see Chevron's doing it here. You got over here Zillow, of course, there's realtor.com. I want you to look at here for a second, okay? You see where it says add over here, search, view, San Diego homes. If I click on that, this is no different than what we're doing here with KvCore. takes you to a separate website. All right. And what they basically, well, this is not a good one, I'll tell you that, because it already should have prompted me that question, or it could have already got me into a listing. Oh, there you go. So loading up, taking a little longer. So this would be a home page. And now when I click on this, for an example, I say, okay, look what it asked me to do. It already does a forced registration. It's asking me for my phone number. And in order for me to proceed, I have to put my phone number. That's what KvCore is. Okay, KvCore allows buyers and sellers to search things on the internet. And then when they ask for more information, before we provide you the information, we need you to register. And so basically the forced registration traps the information of this person. And that's kind of how we got there. Now it's a lot of information. If you guys are not familiar with it, you're going to be like, what the heck's going on? Mike, slow down. You know, how exactly did that person do it? So basically it's a Google search. They go onto this website, they click on that website, and in order for them to kind of view more pictures, it's going to prompt information here. So they went onto this website here, and they actually, instead of them getting the information, excuse me, let me go back here. So instead of them getting the information, we asked them to register, and by registering, they have to provide their email address and phone number. Questions so far? Let me just kind of stop and say, is there any questions on how these people are actually registering? I think we got another question from Grace. How many leads can we expect to generate from listings if the system is utilized properly? Great question. You can organically do it, and that's probably going to be between 15 to 20, depending on your activity. And these are inquiries. Not all of them are going to come together, right? If it's going to be Google pay-per-clicks, I can ask KvCore to do so for me with Facebook, and I can do it with Google pay-per-clicks. The cost for Facebook is there's a minimum of $250 a month, of which you'll get between 20 to 25 inquiries a month. If it's Google pay-per-clicks, you're going to get between 30 to 35. I think the average is about 25 to 35. Sorry. So it really varies on the zip code and what you're asking for. Any Google websites? What exactly do you mean by that, Sharon? Go ahead and unmute yourself and ask yourself that question. Sharon, unmute yourself.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
When you showed this individual going to a website on Google, is that any Google website? That particular website you chose, was that one that KvCore operates?
It's a great question. Okay, so what takes place is when I go to Google pay-per-clicks and I order Google pay-per-clicks for whatever the reason, for whatever zip code, it's going to ask you for any type of cities or zip codes, depending on what you want to offer them as. And then when they do that, since we paid for that, it's going to rank first page on Google. And by doing so, what takes place is you're going to have your own website. So Sharon Miller is going to have their own website for KvCore. I'll show you what that looks like with mine. It's a great question, by the way. So it's going to prompt you to this. You can personally design this. Again, it could be something that you put a video up here and there's something's displayed, or whatever the case may be. But here's all of the website that people that want to search it. You can search it by, multifamily houses. They can click on it. This is all IDX. So these are all through the MLS. So if I prompt you to this and then you land on Mike Safadine, for an example, with this, it's going to see, if you see the top where it says MikeSafadine.connectionsre.com, it would say SharonMiller.connections.com, connectionsre.com. And when they click on your website, you're going to start looking, right? So next thing you know, you're looking at this property over here in Imperial Beach, and you're like, oh, wow, that looks pretty cool. And you can click on it. And then look what happens. It asks me to email. And if I want to continue to see this information, it's going to ask me to email. So you can also control it, where if you want it to be, they want to look at the first 3 pages, kind of like hook them in, and then ask for the phone number and email, then that's okay as well. And I'll show you how to do that as well. Maybe not today, that could be a little bit more advanced, but hopefully that answers your question, Sharon, that this would prompt them to go to an email, or excuse me, to a website. And from that website, they're going to be able to search MLS properties, and they can do their own search, by the way. So if they could do a search and they want to look at, minimum price of whatever to maximum, you really can put your own information there. They can search. And when they search, it comes up all the properties that they actually put on their criteria. Did I answer that question, Sharon?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So now we understand what KvCore actually is and how people were getting on there. And so therefore your dashboard is going to tell you who these people are and how they're getting through it. Now, for me, for the sake of time, because I don't have time, right? I'm not going to go through each one of these things. I want to probably filter out and see who has been sending texts, what new texts came out and what they are. So Betty says yes. Let's see what happened with yes. So I asked the question, most likely, and you can see it here. There's a lot of activity here. Okay, so this set it up. So KvCore said to Betty, which I have her on automation, hey Betty, are you out of the real estate market for 2022? She's not looking anymore. So either I have a choice to take her off, right? Or, maybe continue to talk to her. Maybe not, she's not ready. Logan Ravens says they're an investor. So what do you think the question was to Logan? Hey, I saw you checking out some specific listings on my site. Are there anything that you would like to know more about? Feel free to search, blah, blah, blah. And then they said investor beforehand. Hey, I saw you visited our website the other day. I meant to ask, are you an investor or are you just looking for a primary residence? That person says they're an investor. You guys get the point here? The point is the system is going to contact that particular client on your behalf and probe them with questions. Therefore, you know who's serious or who's just waiting 12 months away, or maybe they're waiting for their specific property in a specific neighborhood to come on the market. Whatever the reason may be, I would definitely look at this and see who is active, who's not. Look, yes, I do have some time. Can you call me in 1 hour? That's a good one. Probably neglected them, of course, but that was 2 months ago. All right. Bottom line is you need to be active with this. You need to make sure that people that are responding to these probed questions, that you're getting back to them. So that's kind of your dashboard in a whole. If I want to filter that out by emails, and any new emails came in the same kind of situation, I can filter it from there and see who is active, who is not. Any questions on that? Moving along. Awesome. Let's go to Smart CRM. This is a really, 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 really cool function. I want you guys to pay really, really close attention to this, because this is going to save you a bunch of time. So we're going to go to our filters here to the side. Let's just say it's our clients. We want to filter out everybody that was our clients. These are people that have closed property in the past or whatever the case may be, right? So if I just want to contact all my past clients, I can click there. And I could put a mass text together. It could be a canned response, which I don't recommend, because these people actually, they're your past clients. They know you best. But let's just say it's not. You can use one of them, and they can have these canned responses. Hey, I missed you the other day when I called. Would you be free to talk today or maybe tomorrow morning? Again, we're asking for a response from them, and this is the best way to do it. I can send an email, I can add a task. There's so many things I could do with all these people here, but that is that. Let's talk about the new leads. So I get a bunch of new leads now, right? I'm getting 25 to 50 a day, and I can't contact everybody, right? So what I'm gonna do is gonna filter up by new leads. Oh, that's been taken care of. Let's do active leads.
Mike, I have a quick question.
Go for it, Michelle Warner.
Okay, scroll back down just a little bit to the top where it has mass text, mass email, or video message. Can you send like a mass video message?
Absolutely.
Your sphere, happy holiday, happy new year.
You absolutely can. It's an add-on. It's going to be an extra $25 a month. A lot of KvCore functions, you know, if you want something separate to what they're doing, like a mass video, it basically connects with BombBomb, so they got a certain deal with them. But it's an add-on. I'll show you guys how to do so. But yes, you can do that. In the meantime.
But this would be another way to do a mass video of yourself with market updates and stats for your clients to click on.
You're a smart woman. Let me show you what I did with my clients. Okay. So let's just say, no, you're doing an awesome job. So let's just say, I grab these 50 people, right? These are all active people that are looking on there. And I don't want to contact them individually. Let's do a mass video like Michelle Warner had suggested. So now I put my template here. It could be whatever the subject line is. It could be, hey, are you still searching? Are you still, still looking? Okay. I like questions because it makes that person look like somebody's asked me a question. I almost feel like I need to respond. So in the subject line, I put, are you still looking here? Now, select a video. I had done some videos like Michelle had suggested. I already did something here, and if I want to preview it, it's right there. Boom. You guys get the point. All right, so I can use that one, or guess what? It's specific to these type of people. So I can open the recorder and it'll ask me whatever the case may be. I can do a video name, and now see how BombBomb comes up there. So bottom line is this. I can do a record right now. 3, 2, 1, action. Hey, I know you're looking on the internet right now and you haven't found your perfect home. Just so you know, we actually have an off-market listing that this brokerage actually does for our clients. And oh, by the way, these are probably homes that you don't have access to. So if you want an access to these type of lists, please reach me out. Here's my email, here's my phone. You guys get the point. So now I just did a video. I'm gonna blast it out to all these different people here. And you better believe it's a rule of numbers. If I sent it out to 200 people, you're gonna have 5 people tell me, go pound dirt, take me off the list. And then you're gonna have a couple of people that says, hey, I'm interested, send me that list, right? So it really is, it depends on who you're sending it out to, how personalized you want that video to be. But yes, good question, Michelle Warner. You definitely can send a video. And just, if I wanna just send a group mass text, no problem. There's the canned response. Hey, it's been a few days since we connected, blah, blah, blah. They have buyer, I got time. I have time today or tomorrow. Would you like to do a real estate search? What better, works better for you, morning or afternoon? Send. Once I hit send, it goes out to 50 people, 100 people. Look how many pages I have. I have so many people that I've probably neglected that I've been trying to pass them out to people that actually use KvCore. And that's a whole different conversation. But I have 2,615 contacts here. Okay.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, Matt Eller asked a really good question during this and said, so someone responds to you, how do you know when they respond? Do you have to go back into your system or does it come to your email or text?
Great question. It actually does both. So if I want to set up my notifications to send me up to do email, it'll send me an email. Hey, by the way, somebody just contacted you on there, and then it can prompt it. Or I can send it over to text. I get bogged down with way too many text messages. For me, I just do this as a system. Again, this is when I was pretty active as a real estate agent. I did a lot of these things and I would respond immediately. At this point, I'm just referring them to people that know how to do KvCore and ask for a referral. But great question. You can set it up for a notification for text, phone. And as a matter of fact, like I said, if you don't, you should always be checking your dashboard because it's going to show up on as soon as it's been updated. And it could be, this will be all activities here. So let's just say that person does respond. It'll be the first, whatever is more recent would be first to hear because that's the way I got it set up. Good question. Hopefully that answers that question for you, Matt.
Mike?
Yes.
Mike, Nora wants to know, besides video, what else are additional costs? And is
We'll
the
get to that.
website included?
We'll get to that. That's part of over here where it says lead engine, and we can talk about lead engines. We can talk about building landing page, squeeze pages, all different ways to making it free, or you can go to marketing, and then we can talk about what type of things you can actually get paid for with Marketplace, and that would be here. We'll get to that page though, okay? Right now we're gonna walk before we run, because I know there's a lot of questions, and again, this is a beginner course. So I just want you guys to understand what the capability of KvCore is, what its uses are. Do we have any questions on that thus far? No? Okay, so back to Smart CRM, because that's where we were. Again, the filters are gonna be through just whatever they are, their active listing or active lead. And this is pretty cool here too. I can assign an agent to this. And this is people that I've used in the past to follow up some of the leads. I can do the contact details. If I only want to contact buyers, no problem. If it's only sellers, it's no problem either. Hashtag, we'll get into hashtags later, because that's more of an advanced thing. And that's really just tagging somebody to, if it's an open house, I can hashtag it open house, all right? And then I can just pull up the people that I got from the open houses. All the things here too, has a phone, not have a phone, has an email, no phone. If I just want to contact people that have given me their information, you know, I would make sure that they have their phone and the email, and I'm just not contacting anybody else. Or if I already have their phone and email and I don't want to contact them through mass, I could just call them myself, so I'll exclude them that way. So again, look through this. It is very detailed, or you can keep it very basic and just pull up all the active listings or active leads. All right, so that's Smart CRM. Again, mass emailing, mass texting, and video messages can be taken care of from there. Let's go to listings. This is pretty cool too. So now it's gonna ask me, my listings, company listings, or everybody else. Let's go to just the agency listings. So these are people, you know, within our brokerage that have a listing for sale for whatever reason. You know, it's still active. In this market, it's crazy. Probably should have gone by now, but whatever. These are active listings. Some are pending actually too. So you'll have to pull them up from there. So Michelle Warner asked a question, so I'm going to pick on her here with their listing here. And this is most likely, is this a rental, Michelle?
Yes.
Okay. So let's just say we want to advertise this particular rental. No?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So what we can do here is we pull up this this MLS, and now where it says more actions to the right, you're gonna see some pretty cool stuff. I want to post it to Craigslist because I don't want to pay for this. You know, it's only $3,500. I'm gonna get a bunch of people, and you know, I don't want to spend any money on this. So I'm gonna go ahead and, is this in North San Diego, Michelle? I would assume.
Kearney Mesa.
Okay, so south. Let's do south. Whatever. Look at my hands, guys. I have nothing. All right. Did you guys see that? How fast that was? It pulled up all the information. It actually did an active search on there, and what it did was it populated this text message here for everybody to click on, or for them to text this number to that number, and all of a sudden, once they do that, I'm going to be alerted that there's a person looking for that particular property. I'm going to do that again.
Don't post that, Mike.
I'm not going to post that, Michelle. All right, so let's go back to something again. Let's go to company listings. I'm going to do that again because I know it went really fast. All right, so do we have, okay, let's look at this one by Jamie. I might click on this for a second. Hidden Valley, all right? This is a great property. It's in Poway. Look at that. It's 1.35. I definitely want some people from there. So I'm going to go to more actions. I'm going to post to Craigslist, North San Diego. Once I click on this, go ahead.
So we can post another agent's.
Yes, only
listing.
our brokerage. We're
only our
allowed to
brokerage.
use our brokerage. Now, the rule is for anybody else. For an example, you'd have to call them to get permission, right? So if I had another broker, there's another brokerage. Yeah, Windermere, you got some friends from there, right? You can say, hey, by the way, I've noticed that you got this property over there in Hidden Valley. Do you mind if I advertise for you? I don't know of an agent that's going to say no to that. And if they are, there's some weirder agents out there. But if you're advertising my listing for me, why would I say no? Because it's already being syndicated. Zillow's doing it. Redfin's doing it. Everybody else is doing it anyway. So the answer should be yes, go for it, Michelle Warner. In this brokerage, you don't have to ask. It's automatic. We're allowed to advertise anything within this brokerage per MLS rules. But when it comes to anybody else, you should have their permission. Does that answer that question?
Yeah, but that's interesting. That's something I did not know, that we could go in there and advertise someone else's.
You just got to get their permission. They're doing it anyway. Again, you just say, hey, Michelle Warner, I want to advertise your listing. So let's just say I do it to Craigslist. I showed you how to do it to Craigslist. But I want to do it on Facebook because you know what? I want to blast this to everybody, and I want to make sure anybody that's looking in Poway reaches it. So it's automatically going to connect to my Facebook. Again, setting this up sometimes can be a little tricky, but it's pretty self-explanatory. All right, so now all of a sudden, it's got this information here. And what it's made to do is just to have somebody click on it. Once they click on it, it's going to go to the website. And again, it's going to be forced registration. They may let you see 1 or 2 pictures, and then it's going to ask for your phone number or email, depending on what I ask it to do. Now, if I want it to be on my news feed or my story, that's a different story. But all I have to do is say something about this property. Hey, anybody looking for a property in Poway, this is your property, for 1.35. Or if you want to exclude the price, hey, click on here for more details. You see how we're going to be getting organic leads this way? Michelle Warner, do you see how we're going to get organic leads this way? Okay,
I love it.
Cool. So that's that. That way, because what the pain is setting up all these advertisements with most people. I remember I was talking to, I think it was Emily, they were doing it manually, and it would take them 20, 30, 40 minutes to actually put the listing together. And then it's painful. You may do one every month, but you're not going to be doing 1 or 2 a day, or you're not even going to do 20 a day. I know people that do 30 a day, 30 different posts to Craigslist a day. They get about 5 to 10 a week. So they're doing it for free. And where it's costing me $500, right? So we're gonna get to what, I'm lazy, right? I don't have time to do all this. So I'd rather them do it for me. But this is one way to do it organically. Is it through Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter? You can even print a flyer this way, guys. I mean, if you just wanna print a flyer and send it over to your, when you're doing the open house or whatever the case may be. And it's not the greatest, I'm sure you can pick out your own, or, we have definitely better designs. But point is, if you want something on the fly, it can create that for you with your information, right? So if you're just getting started now and you say, hey, look, I want KvCore, and, just so you know, I just want the basics. First things first, you want to upload all your client list here. And it says upload your client list. And this is something that you can do from Lead Engine. And then you just basically put get more leads, and you can upload your client list somewhere. Sorry. Give me 1 second. It's Lead Engine. Sorry, I'm going to go here, and then you can upload. You can have them do it for you, and it basically does, it can post up on there, and then here it is. This is where the pay-per-clicks is. Sorry, this is where I was going to get to. So let's just say, you know what, Michelle, you don't have time to kind of do your own thing, and then you want to do pay-per-clicks. You go to Marketplace, Google pay-per-clicks, learn more, and then you can select that, and then it'll prompt you to what cities they are. But if you look at it here, it's high intent leads. It's pretty much breaks down to $10 to $20 a lead. That's kind of what the average is, what it's costing. And then the cost basis are between $750 to $2,500. You can spend as least, I think the minimum is $500. And leads that come through, it's going to be with the hashtag KV paid buyer. So if you want those leads, this is where you'd go. You go to Marketplace, manage Google pay-per-clicks, click on that. Same thing for Facebook. All right, and then it could definitely do the same through Facebook. Although Facebook, in my opinion, it's good, but it's not as good as Google. Because if I Googled something I'm like actively looking for a property, and I'm a little bit in Facebook. I might be in my news feed, and next thing you know, I click on a few things. Not to say that they're bad, but in my experience, they're cheaper for a reason, right? The little bit more expensive leads with Google could pay dividends further down the trough. So we talked about Smart CRM. Is there any question on Smart CRM on, listings? We're going through listings. Do we have any questions on how to advertise these listings? Michelle had a great question. Can we advertise anything else? And hopefully answered that. Any other questions when it regards to listings?
I have a question, Mike.
Sure, go ahead, please.
Yep. So when you use these Craigslist ads and it auto populates, right? Do you have to go in and change the information for myself, like You're
advanced. I like that. So if you're already part of KvCore, you've already set up your profile. Let's do that together. This is how it works. So if I go to Craigslist now, and then it auto populates, right? It's going to go through all of the information. It's going to come with the pictures, blah, 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 right? You need to go to edit post. And when I edit it, I'm going to go over here. First things first, I'm a licensed agent. So I have to put my information here with my license information. And if I want to show my phone number, I put my phone number here and put that in there as long as my contact name is there. So yes, you can go back and edit the post. This would automatically prompt. There's nothing I want to add in the details, because for more information, they would have to text this number to that number. And I have my own Smart CRM number. It's going to automatically go to me and prompt me that somebody else is looking for this property in San Marcos. And this particular is Poway, right? So yeah, edit the list. Hopefully you guys, hopefully I answered that question for you, Grace.
So you said you have your own, what was that called? So that they can text you directly?
Yep.
So we wouldn't put our own phone number in that send text?
No, because this text number, this is like a smart text number. So this, by texting this code over to that number, it automatically is going to prompt them to put their information in, whether it's their phone number or email, or as a matter of fact, because they text, they already have their phone number. It just may ask for their email. But it's going to give them more information about this particular listing. And in order for them to get past page 3 or third picture, you're going to ask them to actually put the information in. Does that make sense?
So is it like a chat box where chatbot where they get questions asked and they respond and then those are sent to you?
You are advanced. I love it. So, and not at first. At first, they're going to make you register. And once it's forced registration, for an example, it's going to actually prompt me to give my information. Now that it's forced registration, I'm inside the system. And now that it's already, depends now, Grace, if you have them set up to where all new leads, the automation is to keep texting them and emailing them. Yes, absolutely. It's going to do it on your behalf and get them to really do something. It's going to prompt them with those questions so that, like, for example, are you just looking for this property? Are you looking for more properties in Marietta? Blah, blah, blah.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good question, though. Great question. But do you see how easy that is? I mean, when we go to KvCore and we're doing these listings through Smart CRM it just makes no sense for you not to advertise your listing, at least your listing. And then I would encourage everybody to do other people's listings because we're getting the word out, right? So again, we're going to go to agency listing here. When it goes to filters, you could draw a map if you want to exclude some areas, no problem there too. But let's just say there, and then we're going to go to that particular listing. Once we go there, we're going to go to more actions. This is Brenda Dott's listing over here. We can send to Craigslist, boost the property. I want you guys to know what boost the property is. So if I just want to boost this particular property and I want to get leads based on this property, there's so many different ways to do it. I could target certain people. I can, this is what the ad is going to look like from over here. It says real estate for sale, sponsored. Just click here, just listed. And I can do my own thing on the ads that is going to go there. I can even add open house. All sorts of things can be done on this. If I want to change the listing, no problem either. But basically by choosing how much I want to spend, they would advertise for me for this particular listing. It could be 3 days for $45. You know, it could be, you know, 1 week, $60, 2 weeks for $120. Jeff Hans, you want to jump on really quick? Because I have a comment for you and you probably make sense of this. Are you on really quick?
Yes.
Thought it's like, okay, good. Do you remember this with AdWorks?
Oh, you mean how much? Yeah, AdWorks, you mean free for the first? Yes.
Exactly. So it's a similar situation here, except that you're choosing how much you want to spend here. It's no different than AdWorks, but in this particular thing, when they click, the difference between what this is and what AdWorks is more for getting your word out there. You click on a website, it may take you to another one. This one is designed for them to grab your information, which this is why I think this money is best well spent, because there's a lot of looky-loos out there that will click on things, but then there's no actionable item. This is an actionable item where it prompts you to get your email or phone information in there. Kind of cool?
Yes.
Cool. And then it's that simple. It's already got my credit card on file, complete checkout, done. I can advertise that particular listing, that single listing, instead of getting Google pay-per-clicks. There's a lot of information that I covered. Any other question before we move on?
I have a question, Mike.
Sure, Mike, go for it.
When you were on that listing and you were showing the open house, you could post your time on that open house. Will it automatically put it on the MLS for you too?
No, it doesn't connect with the MLS. So this is separate from that. There's already been syndications because of IDX. You have to go to the MLS in order for it to show up here. Great question though.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Sorry, Mike, you have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So you just went over the boost and
Yep.
how you pay for that, but where does it actually boost to?
Facebook.
Okay, thank you.
Great question. Yep, absolutely. Great question. Anybody else? Grace, you're asking some really, really good questions, by the way, and I highly encourage, because you sounds like you're very advanced on these type of things, whether it's pay-per-clicks or Google pay-per-ads or whatever the case may be. I'd highly advise that you look into this a little further. I'm not saying sign up or just get a seat yet, but you should definitely look into KvCore, because this is going to save you a lot of time. And this is what this thing is designed for. I think it's designed for multi reasons, but I'll tell you another thing that I love KvCore for. In my opinion, it's a Zillow buster, right? KvCore will allow us as an industry, if agents are advertising their own listings or they're doing their own websites and it's grabbing their information. What do you think how people get into Zillow? They search Google, and Zillow pays a lot of money to be on that front page. And once they click on the Zillow ad, you're done. Zillow is going to hit you till you say, please stop hitting me and unsubscribe, because it's going to continue to ask you questions. They're going to email you information. There's market reports. And that's something I'm going to talk about too with market reports, because you can do anything that Zillow does. It does it here on KvCore for you. Any other questions before we continue?
Jeannie wants to know if it can post to IG, Instagram.
Not yet. I was told by the representative that they're working on other social media platforms, but not that I'm aware of. Good question though. IG. I'm just so old, man. I barely hit Instagram. I'm more Facebook. You know, it's almost, you can tell the age demographic by the social platform they use. Any other question? Can we get some comments thus far? Because we went over a lot of things. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is it complicated? Grace, I'll start with you because I know you were asking a lot of questions. Do you like it or no?
Well, yeah, I think it's pretty awesome I think it's crazy that I didn't know about it, first of all.
It's okay.
But I've been trying to figure out, okay, I call like mad every day, cold call on the phone from like 8 to noon.
That's amazing.
I do get leads from that. But I think once you get the listing, it just stops there. And so I've been trying to figure out, what do I need to do with the listings that I have coming on board? How can I generate more listings, or what can I do to boost those listings to get more listings? And I think that's where most of the agents fall short.
Wow. I didn't pay you to say this, but you know what? This is exactly what I've been saying. Jeff's cracking up because you're like, you're repeating my words for the last 3 years. I think a lot of agents fail because of the fact that they don't understand that when you put a listing on, that should create more business for you. If you don't get at least a listing or two out of that listing, you failed yourself. You have failed yourself. You should get at least 2 buyers, maybe another listing. We know stats show that when the new listing comes up, 2 more listings will come up within a month or 2, right? So are we advertising? Are we calling around that neighborhood? Are we leveraging the listing that we currently have? And I think you're absolutely right. I think the biggest mistake, Grace, is that agents don't want to spend money. This is the consensus. If you look at, if I say to you, what's the biggest problem in this industry, is that you don't realize that you're running a business. And in order for you running a business, there has to be some type of margins. You have to put money out there so it can come back to you. There should be return on your investment. And agents don't want to spend the money. That I see as a problem.
I respectfully disagree with that. I think that agents are willing to spend the money, but we're being targeted by so many, scams out there that we're just like throwing money to try to get more listings, and it's not happening. And so I think for the most part for me is that I didn't know where to put that money at and how to systemize it so that I don't have to be bogged down with having to do it. And the system, thank you for sharing it, because I feel like it's 100% what I was looking for.
I love that you spoke your mind and you disagreed. Oh my God, I love the fact that you told me. So, there's not, when I say a consensus, it's not, there's always the anomaly. There's always the exception to the rule. There's always the people that want to spend the money, they just don't know how, or they've been offered everything in their mother, right? Because if your phone's been ringing, you're active agent, I guarantee you're being pitched probably 2, 3, 4 times a week on a product that probably won't work. One of the things I pride myself on is I fail more than anybody in this group. I can almost guarantee that, because I try everything, because I try it. So therefore, if it does work, I present it to my group. If it's a small investment for me, no problem. It's a no-brainer. If it's a larger investment, I'll pick my battles. But I will try everything, and I've tried everything. I mean, Jeff will tell you. I mean, I've tried YLocal, I've tried FirePoint, I've tried so many different products. When I speak about it, I have to make sure that I put my stamp of approval before I speak about it. I'm the only reason why you're seeing KvCore is because I went through the lemons already, and I've been through all the the advertisements that want $500, $600, $700 a month and produces nothing. If I don't got a return on my investment, I always monitor it between 6 months and 12 months. Some things I want to see my money come back to me within 6 months. Some things, I'm going to give it a year. But after a year, if my money doesn't come back to me, bye-bye. Right? Then it's a pipe dream. Then it's it's going to work. It just takes more time. No, I want my money back to me and more within 12 months. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. I really
appreciate it. My pleasure. Thanks for your comments. All right. So that's that with the listings. That's for the boosting. If we don't have any more questions on how to boost the property or to advertise a listing there for organically, I'll move on to marketing.
One of the questions that came up, Mike, is does your website that you showed come with the KvCore the way you looked at it?
Yes, it does. So let's do that now. Let's get onto the websites. All right, there we go. So here we go, site. And these are the general ones. I can actually tailor this one and change the template on there. Save, we'll do the foundation was a different change. Background, if I don't want these pictures to show up, I can unclick these. These ones that they give you can even upload your own pictures, by the way. If you want certain ones or a listing in the background, there's a way for you to upload that. So these are pictures. If I want to change the background, you get the point. Okay. A lot of pictures. They give you a lot. All right. And then I save it. And now it's going to change that. I can upload. Here's where you can upload your own image. Takes you to your desktop or wherever you're going to have that pictures. And there's also things where you can actually do a video. If you want your YouTube video, it have to be YouTube. It's a little complicated. You'll have to go through the support training and go through the videos of how to do so. But yeah, you can put up your own YouTube video, custom headers, anything you do. You can customize this website pretty detailed. It's really good. But yes, it does come with a website, Mike. and you will be able to customize that website. But that website, again, it's really designed for them to kind of search. It's designed for lead capture. And if your particular listing does not show up, this is where you want them to kind of look at certain things. So since I changed it, it's going to be all kinds of different things. But yes, it does come with a website. All right. Back to marketing. Smart CRM, smart campaigns. All right. Now, this is the campaign name. All right. And if I want it to be active, I would press yes or no with this status. Are you sure you want to take it off? Yes or no? And what this looks like, it's going to give you everything that it's going to do day 1 to day 7. If I want it off, I just exclude that, remove it. I don't want to contact that person. And there's a preview. It's basically, this is a reminder. It's a reminder, check in with this client. So this thing will set up tasks for you, or you can set up your own tasks. And what this basically is, it's a reminder. Some are reminders, some are weekly check-ins. If you guys see the weekly check-ins for all this. There's no excuses. It's gonna let you know, contact your buyer. It's been a while. It's been 14 days and maybe I'm a little lazy. Maybe I just only want to do it once every, 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. I can actually add an action, or I can change the campaign depending on what campaign I want. I can clone a campaign, remove a campaign. Again, these are more level 2, level 3. This is not a basic training. I don't want to get into the weeds of what you can do with this, but you can definitely do different campaigns. We'll have our own little setup on how to set up a campaign and what are the capabilities to do so. All right.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir.
On the campaign deal on the last page,
yeah,
you had some of them that shows company and it's on, and you have office that's on. Does it matter that they're both on, or because both of them are buyers? One's office, one's company.
Right. So what's your question? Can you do both?
Do you want them both on, or should I only have one on? Because they're both on my system too.
They're both on. I don't know whether it's, one way or another. I don't really know that answer, which one's better. I think it's preference. But if you want to take them on and chance it and see what works and what doesn't work, for me, for renter, off,
you both yours on though?
I do. I leave both on, office and company.
Okay.
And I don't know why I didn't do that, to be honest with you. It might have already been defaulted in. I just haven't messed with it.
Okay.
Good question.
Mike, Grace wants to know, does the website include IDX, or is it an extra feature that you need to request when you sign up?
Great question. All right, it's automatically IDX. You don't need to add another feature. Unless you're doing your own kind of setup, then IDX is a must. But yes, it might, and I'll have to look into this because the last time I checked, IDX was included. They change things all the time. And I will get that answer for you, but it's a yes. Yes, with a caveat, with an asterisk. I have to confirm. All right. Any other questions? No. Okay, good. Let's go to lead engine.
Sorry, Yolanda has a question.
Go ahead, Yolanda.
If we want to sign up for Smart Number, will we get leads sent to us?
Nope. Smart Number is just so that way if they ever call that phone number, it doesn't get lead routed to because what it does is it does a round robin, right? So basically, if that person ever calls that specific number that it says to text to, because some people may call it, right? But the odds of them calling you off that number are pretty slim. But if you want it directly led to you, you would have to get your own smart CRM number. And right now, only one gets provided with the office. And the reason it knows how to lead to go to the right lead is by that certain text number. Everybody has their own text number. And when you text that number to that, whatever it could be, 12345 to 858, 6099609, it knows that's going to be for Larry because that specific text code is for Larry. So that's how it knows. Now, if you want your own smart CRM number, just in case anybody calls that number, it's an additional $27 a month.
It's 11 o'clock, sir.
Okay, it's 11 o'clock. Wow, well, 12 o'clock, you mean, right? We're going pretty fast here. We can finish this up now. For those that want to stay on, you know, for some questions and answers. Again, this is just an overview. It was not going to really get into the weeds with all the rest of the stuff, but there's landing pages that can be created. There's squeeze pages. These are all free, by the way. You can have unlimited landing pages, and the landing pages could be specific for that particular property or the community. If I wanted to do Santa Leo Hills, you know, I can make a page for Santa Leo Hills. So when I go on there and I do Google pay-per-clicks, I can advertise that, and anybody looking for Santa Leo Hills will automatically land on this page. And there's call to actions that you can build on that. And it's very easy to do. And I'll give you an example. Let's do that now. Again, this is something that we can talk about in another one, but there's so many different customizations that you could do with these landing pages and squeeze pages. Before we, like for an example, if I don't want this here, I can immediately add that Santa Leo. You get the point here. San Marcos, and go here for free weekly hot list around your town. And I could put here Santa Leo, you know, you get the point. I could change this, add this, and those certain things where they click, I can lead route it to whatever I want it to land. Any questions thus far on the lead engines with landing pages or squeeze pages or anything that I went over? Again, I encourage you to ask it, but those that have to go because they're time sensitive with their things, it is already 12 o'clock, like Jeff pointed out. We'll do more trainings to come. Do we like it? Yes, I see a lot of yeses, a lot of nods, thumbs up. STR has been picky about IDX access in the past. Okay, Sharon, yeah, we'll look into that and we'll see. We already did one for the office, so I'm not sure because I already had to sign up with KvCore to do the IDX, but yeah, that could be the variable there. Maybe specifically that board wants each individual to sign up. That could be an extra charge. Is there a phone app to check in on the go? Yes, there is. There's a phone app. There's an open house app. So if that person wants to register, you can hand them over an iPad. And this is so great about this is once they put their phone and email in there, it'll automatically, you can get the system to automatically start texting them and emailing them. So instead of doing a manual, hey, sign in, you just hand them an iPad. It's amazing. The people that use KvCore, they suggest it's absolutely mandatory that you use an iPad when you're on an open house. If you ask people like Spencer and Alex Abood and the people that use this on a daily basis, they will automatically have them register at the open house. And we can go over that at another later date about the open house app. Anything else thus far? Again, if you got questions on there and you already have KvCore, you already signed up with us, then I need you guys to go to your support training and go through the videos. And once you finish all the videos, we can have another conversation just so everybody understands. It is an additional charge. It's $100 a month for KvCore. The people that do a certain amount of volume that's already been given to them, we can present that as we go. The volume is 10 million or more. If you get 10 million or more, it's provided for you for free. If you do not do that type of volume, it's $100 a month. All right. And we'll talk to you guys on January with Walt. If you wanted to add on this, people have been emailing us and we're adding them on there with a charge of $100 a month. Questions? Do we have anything else? Mike Meter, just to put it out there. Anyone having a party? Jeff Pons, excuse my French, is a badass MC. Jeff did a phenomenal job. I hope everybody had a good time at the Christmas party. Thank you for those who have attended. And we're always trying to make it better for next year. So if you have any ideas, please give them. We're open to criticism. We're open to our feedback. So Lynn Bailey says, agree, the best. Any other questions or before we wrap this up? So fun. Kimberly, thumbs up. Great. We'll do a part 2 to this. Again, thank you for attending. I know we went a little fast. There's a lot of information to cover. It's not really much more than trying it yourself, going on there, check out YouTube videos and start Googling, KvCore platforms, and it'll give you a little bit more information. And if you want something done specifically, you go to your training once you've signed up with KvCore and go to that specific platform, and it will give you details.
Mike, should they contact you to get signed up?
Yeah, go ahead and send me an email and say, hey, you know what? I'm looking for KvCore. We'll go ahead and we'll bill your we'll do agent billing with $100 a month on there. And then if you guys want to cancel anytime, of course. Good. All right. Anybody looking for my email address? It's mikesremax@gmail. Put that in there. So you have it there. Or ysafadine@remax.net. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm signing off. If there's any other questions, ask them now. Yeah. Waves. Thank you very much for attending, guys. Love it.